Hi everybody, my name is Bookie and I'm here for the Good Eve channel. And today we're going to be talking about spendthrifts. Have you ever heard the word spendthrift before? Well, don't worry. In this video today, I'm going to talk to you about what it means to be a spendthrift. But I'm going to go a step further. I'm also going to give you 6 tips to overcoming being a spendthrift. I know you're not a spendthrift. I know this video is not for you, but just in case you happen to know somebody that's a spendthrift, 6 tips for them that can help them overcome it. There's nothing that cannot be overcome with prayer, with determination, and with consistency. So before we get started, I'd like you to give us a like, hit that thumbs up button, and let us know that you like our content. I'd also like to ask you, since I'm giving you 6 tips that you share this video with, 6 people, 6 other people who could benefit from learning about spendthrifts and how to overcome it. Maybe they're about to date a spendthrift and they want to see if she or he can change their ways. With this video, they'll be able to make an assessment and make a good decision for their lives. So with that, let's get right into the video. So what is a spendthrift? Well, according to the Oxford Dictionary, a spendthrift is a person who spends money in an extravagant and irresponsible way. Manner. That is what a spendthrift is. Extravagant, irresponsible. No this, no peace. The second thing that I found curious when I was doing research on the word spendthrift itself is apparently in time past, like historically, though it's no longer used this way, the word thrift used to mean prosperity. It was synonymous with the word prosperity. So a spendthrift literally meant a person who had spent their prosperity. That's deep, right? I think that meaning is still associated with the word spendthrift. So how, if you are a spendthrift, if you're not a spendthrift, you know someone who's a spendthrift, what are the steps, the 6 steps that can be taken to help a spendthrift begin to overcome their spendthrift ways? And now I need to differentiate, take a moment. A spendthrift is different from a spender personality versus a saver personality. Just because you have a tendency to spend does not mean that it naturally means you will be an irresponsible spender and an extravagant spender. But what happens is, yes, since you already have that spending tendency, you have the possibility, if not properly guided, if not proper or good habits were formed around money, then yes, such a person can easily become a spendthrift. All right. So back to tip 1 or step 1. You need to know your financial reality. What does this mean? A lot of times when people are spendthrifts, as money comes into their hands, they spend. As they see what they want, they buy. As a Ashoebi comes, they buy. They take it, creating an obligation to buy it. They borrow. If they go for an outing, if they go to a supermarket with their friend, you are there to escort your friend to hang out. Before you know it, the spendthrift has bought more items than the friend you decided to accompany to the supermarket. So first thing is you need to know your financial reality. And one way to do this is there are 2 ways that you should do this, but this one is always so stark and so glaring, because spendthrifts, if they ask you to just say, think about what you spent in the last year, what are the major things you spent your money on, a lot of times that reality, that consciousness of, oh, I'm spending and I'm borrowing to spend, and these are all the people I owe money to, it may not be there for you. So what you should do for 1 month, don't change your ways. Continue to operate freely as before, but make one change. Every single expense you have, put it on your card. If you're doing your hair, pay from your ATM or transfer from your bank account, put the description of what it's for. If you are going to buy shopping in the market, every vendor, don't carry cash. Don't go to the ATM and collect cash this month. Every payment you want to make, transfer or pay with a card. What this will do for you is at the end of the month, There's no argument in your soul. You just print off your bank statement and sit down and take a look. It will tell you how many things, what you're using the money for. And then also all your receipts, take a picture. Because if I tell you to keep it, you may lose it. Keep it in an envelope, but even better, just take a picture of every receipt with your phone. You go out to eat at, let's say, the place, take a picture. You go to the market to do some shopping, take a picture. You go to the supermarket to do some shopping, take a picture. You go to the wholesale market to do some bulk shopping, make sure you get receipts, take pictures. Just keep taking pictures of everything, every receipt. So, because when you see that bank statement, you think it's a lie. You will believe it is a lie. You'll be like, no, someone hijacked my account and robbed me. And I want to see. So when you start going through them one by one and you want to know, what did I spend 50,000 naira for here? You can say, oh, that's the supermarket. You know that you took the picture. You can go and look, oh, wow. I spent 50% of that 50,000 naira buying some new toilet mats because I liked the color. Nothing was wrong with the old ones. There was nothing wrong, but I just liked the color. I felt it was cute and cutesy. And I realized, after I bought it, I actually have 3 in my house. I've not even started using yet. So, maybe I shouldn't have bought that. By the time you start doing the analysis, you need to know your reality. It's very, that's what starts it. Because once you know that reality, then you accept that, oh, I overspent this month and I overspent in a lot of ways, frivolously, extravagantly, that are beyond my income level, then you can take the next step, which is try and now sit down and track, using this as a trend. How do you typically overspend? Because it will jolt your memory now. In the last 1 year, in what areas have you overspent? Keep that list. You'll need it for later. Okay? Step 2, you need to accept now the fact that I need to spend less. I'm spending too much. I need to. It's important, that mindset, that heart acceptance that I want to change. It will take time, but you need to accept first that you want to change, that I need to spend less. Because if you don't think there's anything wrong with what you're spending, if you're still in denial and you believe, oh, it's because I'm not earning enough, that is why I can't spend less. Well, I just hate to tell you, keep trying to earn more. You will earn more. God will always bless you, but you will still keep spending too much. So until you accept the fact that you need to spend less, that doesn't mean you don't need to earn more, but you also need to spend less. You can't spend what you don't have. That's a sense of entitlement. You can't believe I'm entitled to spend more when that is not what you're earning. So you need to accept. Step 2, accept the fact that you need to spend less. And I know that you'll be helped by whatever deity you worship to achieve this level of acceptance. Step 3, now identify in writing. You have the list of all your expenditures for the month. Which were discretionary? Which were non-discretionary? Which of these purchases were necessary? Which were just not necessary? You just did it because you felt like it. And sometimes it's not that you may not be buying, but I'm buying responsible things. Like I bought 10 packs of diapers. Yes, that's true. But have you calculated it very well? Will your child need to wear diapers that long? Maybe you're getting towards the end of the time your child needs to wear diapers. That you have enough money to buy 10 packs of diapers, but you also need to buy milk. You also need to buy some other things. If by the fact that you bought this massive amount is going to upset all the other things you need to cater for in your budget, it's better for you to buy a lesser amount so that you have the capacity to take care of your other obligations. So it's all about a balance. A lot of people who are spendthrifts, it's not that they spend it on irresponsible things. They said extravagant and irresponsible. Some people they just buy a lot of the wrong things at the wrong time. And sorry to say, that's the definition of irresponsible. If you're supposed to pay school fees today, for instance, or you're supposed to provide food for your children to eat on Monday, but you took the food for the children used to eat and decided to use all of it to buy 10 packs of diapers when you could have just bought 2 and made sure your children eat on Monday. It's not that you're a mean person. You have a good heart, but you're irresponsible. Because a responsible person will only buy the 2 packs of diapers that they need to take them for 2 weeks. And then make sure that children can eat on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday and Friday. Because the only person you can blame is yourself. No one asked you to buy 10 packs of diapers. So it's about those type of decisions. Look through the things that are essential. Look to the things that are not essential. Something that you don't need in that quantity at this time is actually non-essential, even though 2 packs of diapers may be essential, but 8, those additional 8 were not essential. So you need to do that sorting for yourself. You need to go through and look, isolate, identify your discretionary expenses, necessary expenses, unnecessary expenses, and then you now need to commit to eliminating the unnecessary items. You need to make a commitment. And I think when it comes to things like this, it's best if you put it in writing. Make a commitment to yourself. If you can't commit to yourself, you can't commit to anybody. Put it in writing so that psychologically you remember that you've said, okay, going forward, I'm going to do better with with focusing on the things that are highly necessary and limiting things that are not necessary. Step 5, create a budget. And that will help you with the example I gave about buying 2 packs of something versus 10 packs of something. Sometimes you'll go into a supermarket, or you'll go into an open air market, and you'll just think, I'm going to get a basket of oranges and a basket of this. Do you have the ability to preserve all these things? Do you need these many things in your house? They're going to take up space in your kitchen. They're going to take up space in your fridge. Because sometimes all this bulk buying, you end up buying extra fridges, extra freezers you don't need. And then at the end of the day, guess what? Still, most of this produce may spoil. There's some items that, yes, you can buy in bulk. A clever way or a smarter way to do it. And that's why, because it's an impulse buy, that's why you haven't come together, is to come together. If, for instance, there are 3 of you, you are 3 sisters or 2 sisters and a brother, and you know that, well, the others are doing well, and me, I'm not maybe doing as well, but I'm on my way. You can offer to say, I will do the market runs. I'm going to the market, guys. Send me your list. Send me your money. And you look through. When you go through their list, maybe there's some things you want to get. You want to get oranges, you want to get apples, you want to get bananas. They didn't put it. You notice that they didn't put fruits this time. You can just send a message. Aren't you guys going to eat fruits? Fruits and vegetables are good for you. You should buy some more. Please send extra money. I'm going to buy some fruits and vegetables for you. You've now created room for yourself so that when you're buying, you can take advantage of the savings of buying in bulk, but you don't have the burden of storing all that bulk. When you come together in your house, you now divide everything, and they get their own. They'll be grateful because they're getting a lot of produce for a relatively good price. It's fresh. They know that you will never cheat them, and you are also getting a lot of produce also at a very good price. It's a win-win. But you see, there has to be planning to achieve that. But if it's when you go, you now impulsively say, oh, I need to eat more vitamin. We need more vitamin C. I've been having a cough in my throat. And then you now buy a basket of tangerines. Why? How many of you, when will you finish? Most of it is going to go bad and go rotten, and you're going to throw it away. So those are the type of things. Have a budget. A budget is a plan for your money. You must have a plan for where your money is going to go, and create a budget that's realistic. If you are a very severe spendthrift, you cannot crash diet financially. You will crash. So what you need to do first is come up with your budget and make sure it takes care of all the necessary things. You should, by God's grace, have a little bit of a surplus. In that surplus, I won't tell you don't spend extravagantly at all. You will not succeed. But at least divide it into half. And at the beginning of the month, once income comes in, that amount that's allocated for investments and savings, you remove it and you lock it away. Take it out of your custody. Then the amount that's meant for the budget for other things, you move that into a different account. Then what should be left is that one that, okay, if I feel like having, lunch, if I feel like, going out or, going out to have lunch with my friend, if I feel like, just something a spa treatment, I just want to do something to spoil myself. You have that budget there because it's gradually, it's gradually reduce you wean yourself off those things. But budget is very important. It's a guide. It will guide your way forward. So creating a budget and sticking to the budget is step 5. Now we're on to the final step, which is step 6. Invest and fund your investment accounts immediately. Never leave funds fallow in your bank account. Never, 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 never. They will be subject to invisible disappearances. The money will go, you won't know where it went. I mean, I remember years ago, I had a colleague, and she had a driver that worked with her. And she had this bad habit. When she would get paid, she was so busy with work, career, progress, this and that. And she would never invest her money. She'd just have money sitting in her account for the whole year. And she was very fortunate because her husband was very wealthy, so she didn't have to spend any of her money. And so she would just have money. If you ever picked up her phone and saw her bank balance, you would scream, Bolanle, how come you have this much money? Her name is not Bolanle. So all my Bolanle friends, it's not you I'm talking about, you know. So he said, how come you have this much money? What's going on? So I've been so busy, I don't even know what to do with it. But I noticed that she always had this particular driver that was working for her. She would lend this guy obscene amounts of money. He would just come every month. It was a sub story, and she was lending him, you can't believe it, 500,000 naira, 600. I said, when will he be able to pay? She was forever doing debt forgiveness like the Paris Club. What is going on? Part of it was that she looked into her bank account and she had so much money that when he came to her in need, she didn't even think about how she should ask deeper questions to help the guy. She would just give him the money. She's like, well, it's driving me. I don't want to think about it. Let me just give it to him. Of course, unfortunately, as happens with life, as Bolanle got older, she was no longer working in a job where every month, even if you make foolish money decisions, the subsequent month, you get money to replenish and wash away that previous decision. She now had to really stand on her own 2 feet completely with what she had put away. And of course, even though her husband was, doing well, he was wealthy because he also was an employee, but a very senior level employee. He too was retired in essence. So money now became tight. They had to live with the limited pots they had accumulated. They couldn't expect every month to just get this infusion of fresh cash just because they were working in careers. Do you know the first thing that driver did was leave her? So sometimes when you're doing these things, you should be wise. He left her. She couldn't afford him anymore. She couldn't afford to give those type of loans, and he couldn't understand. And so immediately, I don't think he even waited 2 or 3 months. He left. He moved on, moved away, and that was it. So it's really important that and she wouldn't have done that simply if once she got paid, she had a plan for her money and she executed that plan immediately. If she had known, I'm putting my money in a guaranteed bond fund like the one Stanbic IBTC has, immediately every month she would have written a check or done a transfer. Even she could have set up an auto payment. They would have taken the money out of her account every month because she, as a salary earner, she knew what her salary was every month. They could have plucked out 80% of her money. She could even have decided to sign up with her pension company and done a voluntary contribution. That way, she wouldn't even have seen the money at all. I remember there was a job I worked in. It was wonderful because with voluntary contributions, I didn't have to pay certain taxes. It reduced my income tax burden, and it was allowed by law. It was a legal way to reduce my tax burden. I put probably 80% of my salary. This was, obviously 10 years ago. The laws have changed significantly now. I put 90% of my salary in pensions, voluntary pension. I put them there. So I got more money immediately because the taxes I was supposed to pay, I didn't pay, which was fantastic. And then guess what? The pension companies were also investing my money, so it was growing and appreciating. So because I didn't even see the money, it was just growing and growing and growing. So she should have had a plan, and so you also should have a plan. Don't leave money fallow lying in your account. There will be a temptation for you to spend, and in this case, she was doing it from the goodness of her heart. She was being a financial superhero. Sometimes just having that money in your account, you now begin to think, there's a trip I want to go for. Oh, all of a sudden you get an email that tells you plane tickets are on sale, 5 first class. Oh, you can go on a package holiday to this place, and you begin to imagine yourself there. You were not thinking about it before. It was not in your plan before. You're still planning to go for summer with your family. But all of a sudden, because you look at what's in your account and you look at the cost of this trip and you just think, I deserve to pamper myself. That seed has seen fertile ground to grow. No, 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 no. Once you have funds in your account, you should already have a plan even before they get there for where you're going to put them. So I hope these tips for overcoming being a spendthrift, these steps, these tips have been helpful to you and can help someone that you know. Thank you for listening today. We've come to the end of the video. Please give me a like. I've talked and talked and talked and talked, and I asked you to share this with 6 people and also encourage them to subscribe. As I always say, please stay humble and learn. Thank you.